Okay, before this episode begins, I just want to experience the the dumbest moment of my life. So, for the past few hours, I've been on my laptop trying to figure out why I can't record my sound. And I'm looking through my settings, and then I finally realize my mic is off, and that's when I facepalm, or palm face, whatever. I hit myself in the head, because I'm just that stupid. And then I start recording, and then I exit out of my camera, or my voice recorder, to read the stories, and it cuts me off, so I've just spent the past 5 minutes talking to myself. So I feel so incredibly stupid right now. And I'm halfway through the script too. Oh god. Okay, I'm still recording, right? Alright. If it stops recording halfway through again, I'm going to scream. Okay. This is the final episode where it's just me. Yeah. Just wanted to say that. So, for this extra special episode, we'll be talking about 3 different ghost stories, and these are all pretty scary, so I recommend you don't watch them, you don't listen to this at night. I mean, you could, but do whatever you want. I'm not your mom. Also, I must note, these are all real. None of these are made up. These are all 100% real stories from 100% real people. Anyways, let's get into this. Our first case is called Demon in the Dark. The case reads, my family traveled to the south of France to stay in a cottage owned by someone my dad worked with. These owners had visited occasionally, but that summer it was free and we had 10 days booked there. After a long 2 days on the road, we drove down a steep driveway towards a secluded mill cottage with the water wheel and static alongside the stone house. There was a deep cellar with stone stairs down under the wheel next to the house, and a small river circled the place. We went into the house and chose the rooms, but being set down in a small copse, the house was draught and cold from the lack of use. We settled in and turned on all the heating on, and yet the house remained cold and felt damp. The first night we had set a fire in the living room and listened to a couple of audiobooks before my sister and I went to sleep. My parents stayed up a little longer and then went to bed. Around midnight, they both woke up at exactly the same time, and the door to their bedroom was opening slowly. At first, they thought it was my sister until they saw a dark silhouette of a man framed in the doorway, standing stock still, just looking in their direction as if praising them. After a short period, the shape turned and started to move, as if satisfied, and disappeared. They both looked at each other, but didn't speak, and both went back to sleep. The next morning, the house felt warm and dry. The sunlight was back through the windows, as if something had lifted and accepted them. They spoke the next day, and both agreed, although they were skeptics, it couldn't have been anything other than something supernatural in that doorway, deciding their worth. Okay, first of all, if you see something opening your bedroom door, and it doesn't look like a family member, you don't just stand there or sit there. You call the cops, because it's most likely someone breaking in. It's like most people in these experiences just want to be killed. If something opens my bedroom door in the dead of night, I'm gonna scream and then throw whatever I can at them. No one in their right mind in a situation like that would just accept their fate. What? Okay, I'm getting carried away. Next case. When I was 15, I traveled to Europe with my family. We stayed in a tall Germany and a small inn for a few nights. My parents had a double bed on the second floor, my sister had the double bedroom next to theirs, and I was lucky enough to have a single room all to myself at the far end of the hall. We went to check into our rooms. As soon as I entered the hallway our rooms were in, I remember feeling almost as if I walked through a wall of bad energy. I just felt so unnerved and uneasy in that hallway, but I passed it off as an overactive imagination. I slept the first night without any issues other than waking up a few times, and the next morning one of my sisters mentioned feeling really uncomfortable in the hallway, as if the air was crushing. It unnerved me even more that I wasn't the only one who felt weirded out, plus she was an adult at the time, so it further cemented in my head that the wing of the hotel was odd. Adult at the time? Okay, from my knowledge, if you're an adult, you're an adult for life, the rest of your life, not just at the time. Later that night, I'm sleeping peacefully when at about 2 a.m. I'm woken by something ripping the covers off of me and being jerked 2 feet towards the end of my bed by my ankle. At first, I thought someone had broken into my room because when I turned toward what had grabbed me, a huge looming black shape was visible in the darkness, like a man was in my room. I frantically flipped the lights on, only to have been nothing there. The window was locked from the inside, and there was no one in the closet or bathroom, and my room was still locked from the inside. I stayed up the rest of the night, scared, playing Cookie Mama on my DS. What year is this that you have a DS? But I love how they specifically said they were playing Cookie Mama. They couldn't have just said they were on their DS. The next morning, we're at breakfast, and my sister mentions that she was up half the night because she had saw a person silhouetted against the wall of the room, but when she turned on the light, there was no one there. It was just a bizarre and creepy experience. We checked out that day, so I didn't get to experience anything after that, but it still freaks me out to this day. Why do all these cases happen in 10 out of 10 luxury hotels, like in Germany, Brazil, or Europe? I feel some of these aren't even real cases, and the people writing them are just trying to brag that they went to exotic places like Norway or something. Makes no sense. This next case is actually from me, and it's pretty crazy. 2 years ago, my aunt got married in, I think, Virginia. I could be wrong. Anyways, we were in some sort of house thingy, and my aunt and uncle, wait, did I already say? Yeah, my aunt was getting married. I already said that. But if I recall correctly, it wasn't the best quality. The walls and stuff were beaten, the reception was horrible, the Wi-Fi was horrible, and it was January, so it was freezing. So basically, it was all the makings for a terrible horror movie. We were in the kitchen, we were all about to have dinner, when my grandmother walked into the dining area to set the table. She was setting the table when a plate on a china shelf flew at her, but didn't hit her. But all I remember is a scream and a plate on the floor, and the broken pieces resembled the design of the other china plates on the shelf directly across from her. So bumping into it was out of the question. It flew at her. We were all shocked. I don't remember anything that happened after that because, one, I was 10 years old. That was 2 years ago, so I don't really remember much. And B, I'm pretty sure I was just rushed out of the room because adults were trying to help her. But a lot of my mom's side of the family are believers in this ghost stuff. My uncle's parents are paranormal investigators. My grandmother and great aunt both believe in it and occasionally send me photos of pictures where they think they see a ghost. Okay, I may have lied a tiny bit when I said we're only doing 3 cases, but I remember a few more. My mom recently, kind of recently, but not really recently, lost her cat in December, and my mom has sworn to see her at least a couple of times. I believe that she said she saw her cat on my mom's birthday, and one time when she woke up, she saw her in some orb form in the dead of the night. I don't believe that last one because she had just woken up and she could have been hallucinating, but you never know. Okay, last one, I promise. It's in the haunted wedding home thing. Again, this was taking place in the haunted wedding home thing. My mom and dad were asleep, and some light turned on. That's all I remember from the story, but I thought it was worth noting. Anyways, that's the end of this extra special October Halloween kickoff event. Me and Adela will see you guys this upcoming Monday for our next episode. Bye, guys! Oh my god, it's still recording. Yay!